Welcome courtside as we get ready for our second game of the D3Hoops.com Classic. Day 2 as it's the Westfield State Owls at 4-5. Taking on the Amherst Mammoths, the 7th-ranked squad at 6-1 in a repeat visit to the D3Hoops.com Classic. I'm Dave McHugh alongside Ira Thor, who's gotten off the plane successfully and joined us here. Let's get to those starting lineups as quickly as we can, and then we'll give you the rest of the details. For Westfield State, they will start with a new lineup. They had a starting five that was pretty consistent, but they will start instead with number 3, Chelsea Musette. Then it'll be number 20, Isabella Aitken. Now let me try that again. We have Isabella. No, yeah, there we go. Number 3, Chelsea Musette. Then number 21, Kayla Durkee. Number 22, Melissa Gray. Number 23, Jordan Halgas. Number 32, Lucy Barrett. Musette and Durkee Barrett were the original 3 of their starting 5. Moriarty, who had started every game this season, is a scratch for this one. And Isabella Aitken, who also would start every single game this season, will not start in this contest. The leading scorer of that starting 5, number 32, Lucy Barrett, with 19.2 points a game, also leads the team in rebounding at 4.9, steals with 2.9, and turnovers with 2.2. For the Mammoths of Amherst, they'll start with number 5, Megan Sullivan, who's just getting her 4th start and 4th game of the season. Madeline Eck, the junior, will start as well. You'll also get Cam Hendricks at the starting position, Maeve McNamara at start, and Hannah Fox, who's the team's leading scorer, will start as well. GP Gromacki in his 12th season, the head coach for the Mammoths. We should point out for the Owls, their head coach is Andrea Bertini, the Westfield State alum, in her 14th season. As we are underway here from Vegas in this fascinating contest of 2 teams, as we've nicknamed, having the systems. And Amherst gets the first points of this contest. It's a 2-0 lead. It's an actual system with Westfield State versus GP Gromacki's slobber knocker defense, I call it, system for Amherst. And we're going to have to take some time to enjoy this because Westfield State literally will be all over the floor with multiple lineups here today as we are underway, as we mentioned, in the first quarter.
Dave, looking forward to being with you this entire week here. Glad to finally have...
Well, not entire, sir. You missed some games yesterday. Let's be honest here, okay?
I was working a little football game out in,
I know,
in the
I
Bronx.
just give you a hard time.
Wisconsin and Miami, and it turned out not to be much of a football game. But I have seen this Amherst team once already this year. They came to Jersey City to take on...
They were ticked off when they showed up in Jersey City.
I'll tell you what. They
had come off a loss.
They had come off a loss. They had played Brooklyn the day before. They had made the trip to New York City. You had talked about on Hoopsville how difficult it is for Amherst as a 2-time defending national champion. They hadn't lost a game in 3 years to get non-conference games. Well, they came down to New York City. They played Brooklyn College. They played my NJCU Gothic Knights. They got the 2 wins. For young schools like Brooklyn and NJCU, it's great to have the opportunity to play against an experienced program like this, and for coaches to learn from Coach Gromacki. And for Amherst, they got some desperately needed games.
Steele going the other way. And Westfield State gets the basket as they have the entire other starting 5 ready to check in. They got that as we draw a foul.
Amherst is 2 games out here, but got to remind everyone, this is just the start of their trip because they got 2 more games out in Southern California after they get done in Vegas.
This is their new thing. 2 years in a row they have done this, as Westfield State will bring in Ashley Lane, Alyssa Camara, Allison Hester, Kiara McCarthy, and Tiana Slaughter as their next 5. And that is where the system, the Grinnell system, Loyola Marymount on steroids system comes into play here for this Owls unit, as they will sub in every minute or 2 5 more players.
Definitely fascinated to watch this. I've never seen it in women's basketball.
Well, it's going up against Amherst, too. That's what's even more fascinating.
Exactly. And you want to see how the All-Americans like Hannah Fox perform against a look that they've never seen before. It's funny, these teams are 40 minutes apart by traffic, I think 27 miles.
Yep.
There's a difference between Westfield and Amherst. But they're playing out here almost 2,500 miles away in Vegas.
We scheduled them. That's one of those. We made a joke yesterday, a game that maybe we didn't really prefer to have in-state rivals that could have played at home. This one was scheduled by us. It really was because we couldn't find, as Westfield State hits a 6-4 lead over the 7th-ranked Mammoths. We couldn't find another option, to be blunt. I mean, to be honest, we just couldn't find a better option for Amherst and Westfield State than these 2 playing each other. Nice feed to Eck. Eck can't get it to go over the rim. Grabs her own rebound. Will throw it up, and she hits that shot. We're tied again sixes here. Westfield State, by the way, blue and white. They're wearing the blue uniforms with light blue trim, white numbers, moving right to left. And on the offense right now, as a foul is called on Amherst, or on Westfield State, I should say. Amherst is in their home whites with purple numbers and trim, and they'll be moving left to right as the starters return to this game. And that is Musette, Durkee, Gray, Halges, and Barrett.
It's interesting to watch during the course of the game. While they're out of the game, the five who are out are kind of on the side. They're getting a quick sip of water, and then as head coach gives them the cue, they kind of just spring.
Yep. Air ball from Musette.
They never really sit down, Dave. That's what's really fascinating here.
Well, it's also they don't go three deep. Grinnell is a three-team rotation. There's 3 sets of 5 ready to go, and so far we've seen from Westfield State just 2, and their stats will back that up as well, as they don't have a third group necessarily that comes into this game. And when you have players like Moriarty and Julam, I can't even say Seychelles' first name, I apologize, or last name, you end up, unfortunately, with extra resources you would use not available. So we'll see how Westfield State does. 3-pointers are the key. That's one of their key players in the 3-point game. Lucy Barrett buries the 3-pointer, and it is 9-6. Westfield State the lead as Barrett, who is a 26% 3-point shooter, hits that one. Pelosi in trouble. She was trapped.
Amherst has shown some vulnerability this year. Obviously, the loss at home, the EastCon, that I don't think anybody expected to see. And I think people thought the Amherst streak was going to come to an end at some point, but at home.
Right. At home is tough, but here's the other thing. This is a young team as Westfield State gets 2 more points to extend back out to 3. This is a young team. You look at Amherst's roster, and you're full of sophomores and freshmen. They hadn't been in a game like Eastern Connecticut in the sense that it was close, and it showed in the end. And yes, I think we thought it was going to be a loss at some point, just not that game in particular, as the steal and the basket is good for Halges. And Westfield State now with a 4-point lead early in this one, as they'll go over the top and they'll get it to the All-American Fox, who released. It's now back to a 3-point deficit. I'm going to have to get used to updating the scoreboard quite a bit in this one, as we're going to be tested on the computer system.
I should have brought you my scorebot.
Yeah, you should have, but I don't know if it would have worked here, and I should have thought of that too.
Oh,
I asked another school. They weren't sure if it would work here. Westfield State looking for 3-pointers short from Musette, who shoots 35% from deep. Quick rebound by Hendricks, coming the other way to Fox, and Fox lays it in. That's 2 more points. And a substitution timeout called. You don't see that very often.
Vegas rules.
Westfield State calling timeout early in this one just to get subs in, so using a timeout without using the time to talk. As, again, they want to sub every couple of minutes at the most, and they had gone a long time there. So the second unit of Lane, Camara, McCarthy, and Slaughter on the floor now. Ball loose, goes out of bounds. It'll be Amherst possession, who trail by 1 here. 13-12.
This style of basketball almost resembles a track meet.
Yeah, yeah. So they're going to full court press you. They're going to make sure you get it over. They won't necessarily give up the layup that they don't mind if you take it, because they want the ball back.
Nice
Shot
move.
up and in by Eck as Amherst takes the lead again, 14-13. Now they're going to come down the other end of the court and either take a layup in this case or look for the 3, and that's going to be a charge instead on Allison Hester. The Sutton, Massachusetts native picks up her first. So Amherst will inbound, and there you see the full court press from Westfield. Just wanting to get steals, and they get one. No, they will not successfully get one. Westfield State comes in averaging 18.5 steals a game and forcing 34 as a basket made by Amherst, averaging 34 turnovers for their opponents per game. They come in averaging 93 points a game while giving up 86.5 points. Where Amherst comes in averaging 69.6 points a game and only allowing 44 points. Nothing against the Amherst defense. I don't think that 44 points holds tonight. As we get the next set of subs coming in, and for the first time we see Ariel Dubé coming into the game. We also see her joined with Melissa Gray, Barrett, Durkee, and others, as a steal by Pelosi. Up ahead, nice fake. Layup is short, though. Does not go out of bounds. It's saved by Barrett. Less than 4 to play. Amherst has got the 16-13 lead. They have trailed by as many as 4 in this opening quarter of the contest, as it's both teams' first game back from the holiday break. Off glass and in for Westfield State to claw within 1. Basket made by Barrett, who leads the team in scoring at 19 points a game.
And that'll stop a little bit of the run that Amherst found themselves on.
Elbow shot, good, and Fox hits yet another basket. And that's the other thing I'm going to be interested with Amherst here, is they don't have a deep bench. They're going to get tired in what is going to be a high-octane game here. This is their first game back from break, as an ill-advised foul there by Gray. How do they adjust to the high tempo when they haven't had a lot of games leading up? In other words, they've had a break. They're not exactly in their best shape. We'll see how this all plays out.
And they're playing a lot of basketball in a short window of time, too, after this break.
Again, they're the new Amherst trip. They just play 2 in Vegas, then head out to California by bus and play 2 more, and then head home. That is, they're kind of doing it 2 years in a row. And talking to G.P. Gromacki on Hoopsville earlier this season, it may become their semi-new norm, as a foul called on the the shot by McCarthy. McCarthy will go to the line here to shoot.
I think with Amherst is at any given moment, they could just take control of the game for a short window of time, and that's all that it'll take.
Yeah, except I don't know if that fits this game.
This is a different kind of game because of the tempo of offense that Westfield has. But
you got to throw a lot of it, what we know about Amherst, out maybe.
I mean, just looking at the game against my school earlier this year, we played them, and I'm looking at the box score right here, we played them even for 3 quarters of the game.
Fox turns her back to the basket, misses it.
But in the second quarter, they blew us out 23-5, and that's it. That's the difference in the game right there.
And the foul, or the shot missed by Hester, but the foul called. Well, that's the thing here is, listen, Amherst, as we joked on the last broadcast, Amherst is more than content not to put an offense together. They're more than content to shut you down defensively and eventually turn this into an offensive, or I should say, not worry about themselves on offense. So it doesn't surprise me, once they have a lead, they will shut things down offensively and not worry about it and just keep you at bay defensively. This game's not going to allow them to do that, because defensively, Westfield State's going to go high octane on them. Amherst is going to have to go toe for toe with them a bit offensively to stay with it. And that's where I think the new wrinkle here, and how deep can Amherst really go as we get a shooting violation and turned over for Amherst. And Amherst is showing they're going to go deep. Gabrielle Zafiro is into the game. She is, I had her for not playing a game. That can't be exactly right, as I had her from some stats here. The freshman has just 3 rebounds and shot 0 for 3 from the field. So she's played in a game, but they're already using her in the first quarter.
When I saw them earlier this year, they only had 7 players play more than 11 minutes. And you could see in the fourth quarter they were getting a little fatigued. But there was that inexperience factor with some of the players who are now playing big moments for the first time.
Into the game also, I thought I spotted somebody new, and now I can't find them. They get the ball to Eck. Eck will drive, misses it short. Can't grab the rebound as Sullivan goes out of bounds. Will be Owls' possession. 2:29 left here in the first. Amherst leads. It is 18-17. We fix that on our scoreboard as we are continuing to go underway here.
You know, for a team like Amherst, you're expecting to play deep in the March. What's good about a game like this is it's going to allow them to learn earlier in the season to be able to kind of adjust on the fly, because they're not going to be able to play in the third, fourth quarter the same way that they probably assumed they were going to play when they entered the game in the first quarter. You have to be able to adjust in March, and a Westfield team that plays this kind of run-and-gun offense, what a great way to learn, you know, in December.
Starters back in: Musette, Durkee, Gray, Halges, and Barrett. Shot up and good for McNamara.
How appropriate, by the way, is it the fact that we're in Vegas and seeing a team like Westfield State? Because in some ways, and again, it's 30 years ago, it's hard to make a direct comparison, but it reminds me a little bit of the style of play without the massive subs that UNLV did back in the day.
Well, they stole it from Loyola Marymount. The whole system is based on Loyola Marymount. Back, you know, in the heyday, Hank Gathers and Len Bias and Hank Gathers and that entire team. That's what the system's based on, is that system. UNLV took a version of it and kind of made it their own, and then it went to Grinnell and Redlands, and that became the system as it is, and has multiplied, especially in Division III, from there. 1 of 2, by the way, on the free throws, and then quickly the other direction. We get a
Greenville
basket.
does it. Redlands has done it.
Redlands did it for a long time before a coaching change. Greenville now does it. You have Westfield State on the women's side. North Central on the women's side has done a variation of it over the years. And the numbers are growing as to who is doing it. I think Louisiana College might do it. I'm not positive. There's at least a dozen, if not 20 schools in Division III who now run some type of system in their system.
Nice move.
And interestingly enough, is another basket inside for Amherst. You know, we were talking about Muhlenberg earlier. They ran it about 12 some odd years ago. Ron Rohn saying he still uses the defensive side of it, the full court press side of it, but not the offensive side of it, as they don't need it on the offensive side anymore, but they do use it defensively.
And for those of you out there who are not familiar with the Loyola Marymount team that we're talking about, obviously not a major program at this point in D1.
No, but back in the
30
day,
years ago, oh my God.
Well, they were the system without the substitutions. Yeah. They were just going to run you into the ground. They were so athletically fit.
They had the athletes to do it, yeah.
Right, they would run you into the ground. They didn't sub. The system that it exists now takes a mentality, but instead of worrying about the conditioning, and you're still conditioned, you just roll new players in constantly to keep that tempo going.
You have to be fit as a team from 1 to 15 on your roster to be able to pull that off. I mean, Grinnell's got 20 guys or so.
Yeah, and that's where they run 3. See, that's where their difference is. They're running 3 sets of 5, whereas Westfield State's running 2, and that's a big difference. And that's where I'm curious to see how this moves on.
The nice thing is people have the opportunity now who are not familiar with the programs we're talking about, like the Loyola Marymounts, and we're in that part of the country where Loyola is from, of course, but you can go on YouTube now and watch some of these great games from 30, 35 years ago and kind of see what we're talking about and just how exciting it was.
25-18 as Fox is on the line here shooting 2. Hits the second, so 26-18. Amherst extending the lead. I'm really more interested in the second half of this contest as Amherst is going to be going up and down the court.
Just to see how the
stamina holds up on the first game back from the holidays. They have not played since about the time you saw them. I don't remember if they played a game after your game against New Jersey City or not.
We played December 2nd was that game.
And Amherst in the hole, that's a foul. That's going to be a tripping call called on Zafiro as she reached for the ball, ended up tripping up the player in the meantime, and both teams are in the bonus. We should probably put that on our board. 26-18, we'll give 2 shots here for Allison Hester, who is 4 of 10 on the season, hitting the line. But again, it's their first game back in the NESCAC. They all shut down for at least 3 weeks because of finals. They're not allowed to play by NESCAC rules. And so this is their first chance back, and you're going up against a high-octane team. I'm fascinated more about the second half than I am the first. 26-20 the lead here, trying to break the press, quick passing, just long for Fox, but she gets back under it and hits the layup, 28-20. By the way, we're only in the first quarter, and it's 28-20.
Does Amherst score 100 today?
Either team. I mean, jeez. I told you, Amherst is not going to be able to hold Westfield State to their average of 44 for opponents. They may not hold them in the first half, as it's now a 30-20 lead. Westfield State's going to be comfortable in the second half. That's why I'm curious. Nice block by Sullivan, and the quarter will come to an end. And after 1 quarter, it is Amherst 30, Westfield State 20. I wonder if Westfield State gets to Amherst's defensive efforts by the end of this half. We'll take a break, come back. We got the second quarter ahead. You're watching the D3Hoops.com Classic from Las Vegas. Back with more after this.
Receive a non-athletic scholarship upon entering school.
I got the presidential scholarship, which was huge for me.
I think there's more opportunities for academic scholarships in Division III.
I did receive academic scholarships. Just being involved on campus, being a leader, all those things combined kind of get me recognized. It's a great experience for me.
Big shots. Big dunks. This trophy is not given. It must be earned. The 2019 NCAA Division III Men's Basketball Championship, March 15th and 16th at the Allen County War Memorial Coliseum Arena in Fort Wayne.
With his 3rd triple.
Visit ncaa.com/tickets and secure your seats today.
Welcome back as we get ready for second quarter action. Amherst, the 7th-ranked Mammoths, lead Westfield State 30-20 in a battle of Massachusetts squads here in Las Vegas. I'm Dave McHugh alongside Ira Thora. Hope you're enjoying the D3Hoops.com Classic here as this contest is underway. What's really interesting, I hope you're enjoying it here at South Point as our broadcast is on the air here to the hotels and everywhere throughout the casino and hotels. A blocking foul called on Westfield State, legal screen, I should say, with 9:51 into this quarter, or remaining in this quarter. Westfield State shooting 39% in the first quarter.
Yeah,
Amherst shooting 64.
Oh, my.
No surprise considering the high percentage shots that they are offered, and that's why they've got the lead. Nice drive and a basket from Sullivan, who will get a chance at a three-point opportunity. Only wrinkle we saw that was interesting in the first quarter, Westfield State using a timeout for subs.
A couple things that actually popped off the page to me, seeing this kind of a system in women's basketball for the first time. Number one, really not that many turnovers, quite frankly.
True.
Less turnovers against this style of play than you would probably see in a traditionally slow-paced game.
Well, it's because Amherst is so disciplined and so far going toe-for-toe with Westfield. Westfield forces 34 turnovers a game, so that is a low number in the first quarter of forced turnovers. They've only forced 4 out of Amherst.
Well, that was the fourth right there, but 3 in the first quarter.
Oh, no, I looked at the wrong screen. Westfield only has 4. You're right.
I'll tell you what, though. Also, not a lot of three-point attempts.
No, they're going at Amherst. They're not taking a lot of deep shots.
Well, they're giving them these gaps in the lane.
Right.
And they're taking them. And you got a player like Hannah Fox who's just so experienced.
Oh,
she's
yeah.
going to exploit that.
Sure. Yeah. Shot up and does not fall for Zafiro, who's getting quite a bit of time in this game. Probably not surprising as the rebound is in and good. 14-point lead now for Amherst. As Westfield State continues to push, and Barrett nearly gets the shot, but it's blocked. And the second unit comes in. Actually, the second unit of Lane, Camara, McCarthy, Slaughter, and Hester into the game. Inbounded, stolen. Amherst gets the steal. I'm really interested if this high tempo for Amherst will continue all game. That's where Westfield State, we know it will, as I repeat my point from the first quarter. Less than missing the shot there was Madeline Eck.
Rare miss from that point of the floor for Eck as well.
She's actually struggled a little bit. That's her 4th or 5th miss from that point. I agree with you. Normally that's a must for her, or an easy one, but she's struggled a little bit. Quickly up ahead to Sullivan.
This Mammoth squad with 2 preseason All-Americans, both are juniors. When you talk about the youth that they have behind them, there's no reason to believe that Amherst is not going to make deep runs in the next couple years and from there on out. I mean, what Coach Gramacki's done up in Massachusetts is simply remarkable. With so many schools in Division III, to have that level of dominance year in and year out is, for a lot of programs, they are kind of that program on a pedestal that you want to aim to be.
Second unit in for Westfield State is their starters, and we've set Durkee, Gray, Halges, and Barrett. Again, Westfield State using 2 units. Most programs that have a system will use 3. Missed three-pointer by Fox.
Missed that one badly, too.
Yeah, missed it way left. But granted, you don't notice it hit the backboard because she's taking it from the no backboard angle. Nice feed into the side. Cannot get it to fall for Gray.
Eck there to back her up.
Fox spin, hands to Sullivan. Nice feed to strip, though, from Eck. Eck was going for the shot and was stripped by Barrett. Barrett, quick feed, and Eck comes back, but will foul in the process. 7:35 again. Hope you're enjoying this one in South Point Hotel and Casino as well, as they've got the broadcast up in our audio. We hope you're watching this game and enjoying it from around the country, whether on your mobile device, computer, or maybe you found a way to watch it on one of your streaming devices through our YouTube stream. Thanks for tuning in today. Across the country, of course, it is 3:20 on the East Coast, where Amherst and Westfield State are located.
It's funny now with Hoopsville being streamed on Facebook and also on YouTube. I've been able to sit home on a weekend and cast it on the TV in the home office and watch you in high def.
I apologize for that.
I'm not necessarily saying it's a good thing, but I'm able to do it now.
I'm not either. Barrett to the line to shoot. She's an 82% free throw shooter. Misses the first.
Beats when the show started and I was watching on my 13-inch laptop.
That's true. Or listening to it. We didn't even have the video component for a long time. Amazing how much technology has changed in a short period of time. The second free throw is good. Westfield State finally gets a point here in the quarter. 5-1 start here for Amherst, and a traveling violation will be called on Zafiro.
And here comes another line change.
And here comes the second line change of Lane, Camara, Hester, McCarthy, and Slaughter, though they've had a couple wrinkles. Doobie has come into the game a few times instead, but not on this particular shift. Head coach for the Owls is Andrea Bertini, Westfield State grad of 96. In her 14th season is 219 and 144 with a 60.3 winning percentage.
And she's actually sitting down for the first time probably the entire game.
It's true. She had been
impressive, animated right up against the table the whole time. Seeing coaches that I have not seen in person before, I like kind of watching their style, their animation, how they kind of manage the game, what their emotions are.
And we'll see. Oh, may have taken an extra Euro step there.
No, what's interesting is she kind of has the same personality in terms of the way she's standing and animated in a game that the team is on the floor. Yeah. You'd love to see that.
Just point out, as high scoring as the first quarter was, 30-20. The second quarter is out to a 6-1 start in 3.5 minutes, a little slower paced, or at least basket-wise.
Well, meanwhile, Coach Gramacki is just so calm and collected out there.
You think he's calm, you're crazy.
Well, right now,
he projects calm. As Pat Coleman says from next to us. Block on the shot, by the way, and Amherst coming the other direction. He's more stoic. He's more stoic.
To be calm.
Yeah, he's more stoic as a foul called on the shot. We'll get our next set of subs in. G.P. Gramacki and the coaching staff, of course, wearing their famous Vegas shirts with the Amherst embroidered on them. I think they got two sets, one in black, one in white. They're wearing the black set today. They have worn the same ones every single time they've come. They think they have trouble finding these new kind of Bahama design, so they should have bought like a couple dozen.
Well, he did say that like the last time he was able to find some, he bought a bunch of them just in case.
Oh, very good. Smart man. But I love how he's gotten them embroidered. First shot, by the way, was good. We got one more coming.
I mean, maybe we need to get some D3 Hoops style shirts just like that in black and orange.
I wouldn't. If they fit and make me look okay. Not that I need to look okay.
I think Pat's got an idea right now.
I think he might. That might. I wouldn't. That is actually a good idea. We'd only be 10 years late on the idea, but it's not a bad idea. The 10th annual, there we go. 6 minutes left to go here in the second quarter as Westfield State and Amherst are kind of slugged down the game a little bit here. Westfield State being determined on offense. They're not willing to put up quick shots. Missed the shot there by Barrett. And Amherst is going to come the other direction in the hands of McNamara. Up ahead to Eck. And a traveling violation called. We'll go back to Westfield State.
That's basically a turnover-free first quarter. Amherst is
there was 7.
The score on the scoreboard is getting larger and larger, but they've had some turnovers that are on Amherst-like.
This quarter is very quiet in this one so far.
It's hard to play at that level for 40 straight minutes.
Three-pointer on the way, badly missed by Musette. By the way, back to head coaches. And that is going to be a foul on McNamara as she tried to fly through Musette to get to that ball. G.P. Gromacki has a stat that's ridiculous. In his 12th season, 334 wins, 25 losses. I'll say that one again in case you hadn't heard of G.P. Gromacki's record. 334 wins, 25 losses. 930 winning percentage.
That's incredible.
19th season overall, 497 and 63. 3 national titles and 5 Final Fours at Amherst, 7 NESCAC titles to go with it. Actually, I think that's 8 NESCAC titles. I may have forgotten to add one from last year. As Westfield State gets just its 3rd point of the quarter here with halfway through the quarter.
Westfield is shooting just 26% at this point in the game. They're 1 of 8 from 3-point range.
That's where they're struggling against the tall size of Amherst. Shot no good. Put back is good from Eck.
Eck is smart there, waiting for the rebound and puts it right back in. You can't defend that. Player is such good court awareness. You know, when you play this kind of style of basketball, of course, Westfield State scoring, close to 100 points a game, you're going to have players who score 1,000 points quite routinely. And they had 2 players each score 1,000 in their last game, Lucy Barrett and Lauren Biondi. So, they're going to have some players who are going to go down because of this method of basketball. A lot of impressive stats by the time their days are done.
Drive by Eck, and that one laid in. 42-26 is the right score with 4 minutes left to go in the half. And a little too far for McCarthy to handle. The next group comes in. By the way, you should mention for the Mammoths, Jade Duvall, who had started every single game this season, into the lineup. The freshman forward out of Cleveland, Ohio, is playing now. She, again, started 7 of 7, did not start this one. They're going to go for the baseball pass. Somehow, McNamara keeps that alive, gets it to Duvall, hands it off glass, no good from Sullivan. Grabs her own rebound, looking for a help, outlets it to McNamara. Skip pass, far side, Fox, 3 on the way, no good. Another rebound by Sullivan. Back out to McNamara, Euro steps herself, and the rebound collected by Westfield State. A much quieter, it's 12-6 right now in the second quarter. Make it 12-9, three-pointer for Westfield State. That one buried by Resch. Correction, that is not Resch, that is Aiken, who's into the game. She had started every single game this season and now has made her presence known. And that will be a foul and a shot coming for Amherst, who's hit 44 here in the second quarter.
It's a smart move there by the All-American Fox, the finger roll, basically avoiding any potential charge there. 3-point opportunity for her. Impressive player, only a junior.
Back to GP Gromacki, 25-plus wins in all 11 seasons as head coach at Amherst.
25-plus wins. Only all those years, only 25 losses.
Yeah.
Yeah. You see that sometimes with women's soccer, where you see some of these coaches like Joe Russo at TCNJ and some other coaches and Messiah coaches, of course, who have these gaudy win-loss numbers. You don't see that often in women's basketball, men's basketball, but
except for a few like the Gino Oriamas and Pat Summits of the world.
You do see it more in women's basketball than men's
basketball. A little bit more. The break, obviously the separation between the top teams and the other teams in women's basketball is a little bit more great than it is in men's. But that gap is closing. But, yeah, agreed. 2 shots here as we hit the bonus.
But again, I touched on this a little earlier, with so many teams in Division III, over 450 on the women's side.
Missed shot, much to McNamara's chagrin. She's 8 of 12 coming into the day.
To see GP's squad do this every single year.
Insane. Absolutely insane.
All I could do is tip my cap and respect it, and that's one reason I was so excited to see them in my own gym. You kind of get to see them.
Missed both shots, by the way.
We see them here in Vegas, neutral site, but to see them kind of go on the road and how they operate when they're just on a team road trip was really neat. And they had some great fan support as well. They did travel to the New York area.
Got a lot of good alums in the New York area. Jump ball remains with Westfield State, 45-29. They trail. They've only put 9 points up in this quarter.
You don't realize how many friends you have that are Amherst grads.
Yes.
Until people are reaching, hey, can we get a comp ticket for today?
They don't need to brag about it, just for the record. As the shot by Hester is no good, but she's going to the line. She's a 4 of 10 from the free throw line heading into the day.
My primary inputter on the New York Jets stat crew, Dave Valentino, reached out to me the day before the game. I had been working with him the whole year. Oh, by the way, he never mentioned he was an Amherst grad, wanted to come to the game.
Of course. Why would he? Makes the first one. Hester was 4 of 10. She's 3 of 4 in the first quarter. Now 4 of 5, 4 of 6 for the game. Less than 3 minutes to play. Amherst leads by 15, 45-30 here against the Owls of Westfield State in a not-so-Amherst-style game. We'll see that more tomorrow. Fox, three-pointer is good.
By the way, you touched on it. They have not played in 3 weeks after the game against my school. The last game was Maine Maritime.
That's right, played Maine Maritime.
29-point win. You know, they, with the exception of the Eastern Connecticut game, most of their scores this year.
Fox, a jumper, good. They hit 50 before the halftime.
Have been in that 20 to 30-point range in terms of victories. You know, some a little bit more, some a little less. Beat Brooklyn by 33. You know, they had I'll do a little quick math here. I can't even do that math. 36 against Rensselaer RPI You know, in the Amherst ball tournament, that's a real quality win right there.
Forcing the shot there was Slaughter, but she'll go to the line after drawing the foul.
33 points, my God. Farmingdale, usually one of the better teams in the Skyline Conference, beat them by 29. Emmanuel beat them by 30 back on November 27th. Impressive. And that game was Maeve McNamara had a program record 12 assists that day.
Comment on the board saying this is a blowout. I'm going to hold off on that prediction until the second half when Amherst has to start dealing with weary legs with this tempo that they don't normally play after their first game back up against Westfield State, who's used to it. Well, let's make this decision in the third quarter as a second free throw is good before we're going to make any blowout decisions here. It's an 18-point game as we're back underway with 2:03 left to go here in the second quarter. I would say Westfield State just hasn't done a good job of being a full-court defensive unit.
They haven't adapted at all, really. They're playing their offensive game. They're not being successful right now because they're missing a lot of shots, partially because of the defense that Amherst plays. But you look at their results on the year, and they're 4-5 entering play. But they've played a lot of games where they've been on the blowout side. They've played a couple closer ones
Barrett
lately.
for three, missed it badly.
Obviously not the level of a program of an Amherst, but they played a 115-111 game with Sage back on December 8th. Smith, that went to overtime.
Fox gets hit as she goes up for the shot.
Both teams over the 100-point mark. So they've played these games where they're playing their style of basketball for
against
full
teams
40
that
minutes.
just can't go toe for toe with them.
And that's the difference right here.
Absolutely. Amherst, and the other thing I just noticed on that last possession, Owls making quick decisions on passes. They need to hesitate, let Amherst commit to what they were committing, then find the pass. They're trying to make the pass first, and Amherst is reading it right now and all over as Pelosi returns to the game for Amherst and will spell Sullivan for a break. Again, minute 30 left to go here in the half.
Amherst is still shooting over 57% at this point in the second half.
I should point out, by the way, not the entire staff of Amherst is wearing these. Oh, no, they are wearing the shirts. So somehow GB found them because he's got two first-year assistant coaches, and Grace Elliott and Nehemia Crowder, as a missed free throw gives Amherst another opportunity here. Fox on the baseline, bounces to Pelosi. Duvall cannot handle a high pass from Pelosi, and a traveling violation will called, I think, for the second or third time on Zafiro, who's getting a lot of minutes here in this contest.
Coach Gramacki and I actually had a conversation the day after he came to Jersey City because we're using Genius Basketball for stats this year. It's a new program that's going to be used. Basket
counts for Barrett. He should go to the line for a three-point opportunity.
That's going to be used eventually throughout college basketball. Right now, it's maybe 20-25% of schools are using it. And what's fascinating with the new stats program is there's a plus-minus column.
You know what? That's in StatCrew too.
But it never showed in the box.
Right,
before.
It never did. Yeah, I know.
And now you have also the fouls drawn. And
there's all kinds of analytical stuff in there.
So he called me and was asked, or emailed me, and we were talking about it. And it's one of the fascinating things that's.
Analytics is going. Trust me, I have a job in the off season. I have no off season.
You have a job?
Watch it. The family's listening. Amherst, the wife's rolling her eyes right now. Nice feed up ahead to Fox, who converts, and Amherst has put up 22 points in this half.
I think the plus minus. I think the plus minus is fascinating.
Well, I was going to say I have a job in the summer, April to September, depending on postseason, that is all analytical, and it's completely changed my point of view on baseball. Whereas I know what Genius is bringing to the table, I just know the coaches, and the coaches are either going to absolutely love it and get too much into it, or they're going to roll their eyes at the analytical side. It's old school versus new school, and how does that play out? And for a GP Gromacki, I totally can see him eating that stuff alive. That's tremendous information for a guy like him. And sir, you opened your mouth. I get said message. Wife was rolling her eyes. Less than 46 seconds to go here at the 52-35, the lead for Amherst.
I kid, because I love you.
Don't come to the house anytime soon. Just saying.
So I can't have the Sam Atkinson treatment?
You're welcome if you'd like that. 42.6 seconds left. Foul on Amherst will let us walk down to the other end of the court for free throws.
Not a terrible drive from Jersey.
Westfield State with only 15 points in this quarter. No, it's not.
Only about 220 for me.
Not too shabby. Well, Buena Vista up in the stands watching this game. I think they've got Westfield State. My schedule got moved, as it is prone
Yeah, they
to
play
do.
them tomorrow.
Thank you. So here's the thing I'll say for Buena Vista, if you're paying attention to this later. You're not seeing the true system out of Westfield State because Amherst is breaking it up so well. Buena Vista might be in for a bit of surprise tomorrow when I think Westfield State goes a little more higher tempo. And we're only in the first half here. We still have some time to really figure out what the Owls are going to do.
And the other thing is how many teams nationally are able to play this level of defense?
Well, what's interesting,
is.
right, and what's really interesting, Buena Vista subs in 4 at a time as well. A little longer breaks, but we're going to be in for a hockey-style game, I think, tomorrow in terms of substitutions and the like. That'll be a fascinating game to watch. 13 seconds left in the half, 52-36. It is 52-36. I'll fix your scoreboard.
Well,
here in this contest.
They are using Stat Crew, not Genius here, so it'll be a little bit easier for them to do the stats for that game tomorrow.
Yeah, that's true. Quick shot at the buzzer. Cannot get it to fall, and we have come to the half here. 52-36, Amherst leads. I'll say that second quarter did not play out like the first quarter did. Kind of a little surprising, to be honest. Westfield State finally found their offense late, scored 16 points for their 20 in the first quarter. Amherst found their offense early, didn't find it late. There's going to be a lot of talk at halftime. And again, I want to see how Amherst does here at the half to determine how are they going to do in the second half to maintain their legs. Can they slow Westfield State down and stay? Or is Westfield State going to get back in this because Amherst gets tired? That's what I think is going to be fascinating in the last 20.
Well, Westfield, if they can start making some of their shots this game, and 16 points considering how well Amherst is shooting actually is not that much of a separation, quite frankly. If Westfield can get that shooting percentage up with the volume of shots they take up to maybe about 40-45%, this will suddenly become a ball game in the second half.
True. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll get you some stats, get you ready. It's a long break, so why don't you go up and get a drink yourself, maybe get a bite to eat. We'll do the same. We're at halftime. The 7th-ranked Mammoths of Amherst lead Westfield State 52-36. Still got two quarters to go. Watching the D3Hoops.com Classic from Las Vegas. Back with more after this.
I just wanted to get good grades and to do well. But I also made me realize that I have a lot of career goals.
You're there to get a full college experience, not only participate in your sport, but participate in things outside of that. And it's all about growing as a person.
My coaches have helped me with figuring out who I really am. Their lives are dedicated for us to succeed.
This is why we love sports. It's in the way they play, free from the pressures and all the money talk. Playing for simply the love of the game, where everyone has a shot at their definition of success on and off the field. This is what we love about sports, and what we can still love about college sports.
My name is Marcus Walker. I was All-State, won a state championship, a high school All-American, and played college and pro ball. I played because I love the game. I grind to be the best. I sweat because I put in work. I'm strong because I believe. When I want to bring it before game time, I come to the house that college basketball built, the CBE. No matter your skill, take it to another level. Elevate your game right here at the College Basketball Experience at Sprint Center.
Big shots. Teamwork. This trophy is not given. It must be earned. The 2019 NCAA Division III Women's Basketball Championship, March 15th and 16th at the Krager Center in Salem.
Bounces right back with a triple. Great job here. And that'll do it!
Visit ncaa.com/tickets and get your tickets today.
It starts right when you hit the court. You imagine your finest moment. The game-winning shot that gets you to the dance. A monster dunk or no-look pass, and cutting down the net. Sports lets us dream of our own success and prepare us for our finest moments on and off the court.
It's on us to stop sexual assault
in any way that we can.
To get a friend home safe.
To never blame the victim.
It's on us.
To stand up.
To make our community safe for all.
It's on us.
It's on us to look out for each other at parties.
It's on us.
To be more than just a bystander.
To step up and say something.
It's on us, all of us.
To stop sexual assault.
Learn how and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
I coined my definition of success in 1934. My definition of success is peace of mind attained only through self-satisfaction in knowing you made the effort to do the best of which you're capable. It's like reputation and character. Reputation is what others perceive you to be. Character is what you are.
College has given me the flexibility to pursue my passions and my interests, and I've recreated my identity for myself aside from just being an athlete.
My greatest personal discovery has been that I am capable of doing things that I didn't know I was capable of doing.
To be able to study what I wanted to and continue to play the sport I love, all of those things came together very nicely in one package in Division III.
I used to never really talk. Ever. I was afraid if I said something wrong, everyone would laugh at me. But then I started to play golf with Special Olympics. It helped me to find my voice. And now everyone else is speechless.
Big shots. Big dunks. This trophy is not given. It must be earned. The 2019 NCAA Division III Men's Basketball Championship, March 15th and 16th at the Allen County War Memorial Coliseum Arena in Fort Wayne.
With his third triple.
Visit ncaa.com/tickets and secure your seats today.
Great moments are born from great opportunity. That's what you have here tonight. That's what you've earned here tonight. This is your time. Now go out there and take it.
Football has taught me a lot throughout my life. It's definitely had a huge imprint on who I am as a person. Competing at a Division III level created that opportunity for me to go to college. Not only was I the first one in my family to graduate college, but I was really the first one to even go. Being the first one, I'm breaking that cycle, and now that I've graduated, I'm not sure what's the next step, but I know I have a lot of doors open. And a lot of those are open because I played football and ran track here at Otterbein.
Being a part of the different activities and organizations that I've been a part of, I'm actually able to see myself where I'm like, hey, I actually can make a change. I'm one person that can make a difference.
Division III has helped me to develop teamwork skills, critical thinking skills, time management skills.
It's not just about basketball, or it's not just about school, it's about developing yourself as a person altogether.
Welcome back as we are at halftime. We'll get you some stats, take another quick break, get you ready for second half action between 7th-ranked Mammoths of Amherst and the Owls of Westfield State. 52-36 the lead for Amherst in the first half for Westfield State. Their leading scorer is Lucy Barrett. 13 points on 5-11 shooting, 1 for 3 from outside and 2 from 3 from the free throw line. Second on the team with 7 points is Allison Hester. Everybody else who's played is 3 points or less. Team's leading rebounder is actually the team with 5. Otherwise, it's Durkee and Hester with 3 each. Team is shooting 11 for 35 from the floor at 31.4%. They were just 4 of 17 in the second quarter. They are 3 for 11 from outside the arc. That's the most surprising stat at 27.3%. And there's 11 for 19 from the free throw line. Not great as they're leaving points there at 58%. For Amherst, their leading scorer is Hannah Fox on 26 points, 11 of 15 shooting. 12 points for Madeline Eck on 6 of 11 shooting. Megan Sullivan with 6. Team's leading rebounder is Fox as well with 8. Team is shooting 23 of 41. They've cooled off a tad. 23 of 41 at 56.1%. They were 47% in the second quarter. They are just 1 for 3 from beyond the arc, 5 of 12 from the free throw line, so not doing much better on the free throw line themselves. Amherst is out rebounding Westfield State 31-20. No surprise there. Westfield State has 5 assists and 10 turnovers. Amherst has 12 assists, 9 turnovers, surprisingly low for a Westfield State group. We'll take another break. When we come back, we'll get you second half action. You're watching the D3Hoops.com Classic from Vegas, Amherst, Westfield State. More after this.
It starts right when you hit the court. You imagine your finest moment. The game-winning shot that gets you to the dance, a monster dunk or no-look pass, and cutting down the net. Sports lets us dream of our own success and prepare us for our finest moments on and off the court.
Welcome back as we get ready for second half action. I'm Dave McHugh alongside Ira Thor as we get ready for second 20 minutes of this contest, third quarter to be specific. Don't forget, we're also talking to coaches and players and the combination of their win of all the programs here and uploading them to the website as they go. Check those out so far. I know we've gotten a couple from yesterday, getting a few more today, quite a few more today. So just kind of stay with it. We will get them taken care of and put on the usually good insights on not only the teams, but the student athletes involved, also what they do here in Vegas. We have a lot of fun. Good interview coming up with Dorsheimer. There we go. And Nate Davis from Gettysburg. That is an interview I wouldn't mind tuning in for. Figure out what's going on with the Bullets, but also, again, we get to find out what they're doing while they're in Vegas as well. As we get ready for second half action, Amherst in the home whites with purple numbers and trim will be now moving right to left. And it's Westfield State in the road blues with light blue trim, white numbers and lettering moving left to right. Amherst has possession as we are underway here in third quarter action. Shot up and in for Eck, and Amherst quickly on the scoreboard with a 54-36 lead now. Nice backdoor cut, but then just missed it. did Barrett, lost it out of her hands. Nice look there. And again, I'm going to be fascinated to see how Westfield State does in the second half and how Amherst does with his higher tempo in the second half. If this game maybe gets close as a turnover is not holding on to the ball with McNamara. Just point out, starters are basically in for both teams. Sullivan, Eck, Hendricks, McNamara, Fox for the Mammoths. It is Musette, Durkee, Gray, Helgas, and Barrett for the Owls.
You know,
I take that. No, that is the. I apologize. Go ahead.
I was going to say, Amherst was kind of deadly in the first half.
Barrett for 3.
As they were able to outscore Westfield 16-4 on the fast break, but 3-point shooting will help neutralize that.
Well, to be honest with you, not surprising when you might consider that a fast break point as Hannah Fox scores. And I say that because what Westfield State will give up in terms of points, and you said we'll go to line here. You know what I mean? So how are the statisticians ruling that? Would they have ruled that shot there by Fox a fast break? Because if they did, then I can see why they got a 16-4, because Westfield State's going to give up points like that willingly. Or are they ruling it somewhere else? And that's where I'd love to know the mentality of the statistician in that case. As the second unit comes in for the Owls. Lane, Camara, Hester, McCarthy, Slaughter.
I think everybody has their definition of what a fast break is. I mean,
yeah.
To me, it's usually off of a turnover in transition.
Okay. So in that case, it wouldn't matter on the full court press, and that would make some sense. As McNamara turns it over. In that sense, then I agree with you on that point, Ben, wholeheartedly, that Amherst has taken full advantage of those opportunities. Points off turnovers is 12-10 in favor of Westfield State, interestingly enough.
Here's a fast break play in my mind.
I agree with you.
Baseball pass off a rebound like that down the floor. That's a transition fast break shot.
Awkward moment there for Hendricks.
If they had gotten the shot off.
Now
it's negated.
And again, Westfield State's going to full court press is get an opportunity there for
great ball
Hendricks.
movement.
Great ball movement. Westfield State's going to full court press no matter the situation. If it's a turnover, if it's a made basket, it doesn't matter. They're full court pressing you at all times. Here's another opportunity going the other direction. Sullivan, one-on-one, off glass, missed it. Fox hauls down the rebound.
Again, Fox has got 26 and 8 already.
And the layup good from Sullivan as Amherst has come out strong. That's going to call Westfield State to call timeout. It'll be a long timeout. We'll take it as well. You're watching the D3Hoops.com Classic from Las Vegas. We'll be back with more from Vegas after the break, where it's Amherst leading Westfield State 60-39.
It starts right when you hit the court. You imagine your finest moment. The game-winning shot that gets you to the dance. A monster dunk or no-look pass, and cutting down the net. Sports lets us dream of our own success and prepare us for our finest moments on and off the court.
I just wanted to get good grades and to do well. But it also made me realize that I have a lot of career goals.
You're there to get a full college experience, not only participate in your sport, but participate in things outside of that. And it's all about growing as a person.
My coaches have helped me with figuring out who I really am. Their lives are dedicated for us to succeed.
And we are back as we come out of the timeout here in the third quarter as Westfield State, trailing 60-39, calls the timeout to discuss things. And Amherst in control for now. We'll see what the Owls do. Shot or foul called before the shot. I think they're calling on Hannah Fox, and they will. It was well away from the basket, so I'm not quite positive as to what they saw. Fox picks up her second. Team second of the quarter.
As a reminder, this is only game 2 of 6 today.
You're killing me.
Willamette and Ohio Northern coming up next.
It's a guy who just showed up today, folks. He's fresh. He
got off the plane.
That sounds weird. Sullivan, the rebound, holds on to it.
This is day 2 of my 96-hour excursion.
Yeah, excursion is right.
Coast to coast almost.
Ack with a drive and layup. Amherst certainly feeling free and happy to go with this pace, and that is what I was looking to see, how they would do in this second half. So far they're playing it much like the first.
I worked what on paper, it was supposed to be a pretty good bowl game last night in New York.
That's why it's played on grass.
Not on paper?
Not on paper. Foul called will send, well, who will it send? It will send Durkee to the line. She is a 85% free throw shooter, best on the team coming into the weekend.
Oversaw the Pinstripe Bowl for the 6th year in a row, the physical aspects of it, and on paper it was a great game, Wisconsin and Miami. Not so much, though, in the final box score. Miami didn't really show up offensively.
I'm not that surprised, to be honest with you. Miami's been a little streaky this year.
I was shocked how little they got out of the quarterback play.
62-41 now, 21-point lead here for the Mammoths of Amherst. I almost want to call them the Mammoths because if you're going to keep the H silent in Amherst, you might as well keep it silent in Mammoths. Kicking violation. So it's the Mammoths, right? Keep the H silent. Mammoths. Of course, Amherst went through a mascot change in the last few years. The fan favorite was eliminated by the committee. Take Amherst, rearrange it, you get hamsters. That was actually the running favorite for a while. And the committee said, nope, we're not going to get called that. We'll remove it from consideration.
The running hamsters?
But the running hamsters, they get on the wheel, right? Is the foul then by take by Hester? She is fouled.
Would you have had to drop the H and be the Amherst Amsters?
There we go. See, see what you're doing. See, there, well done. There you go. You're finally playing along with our little game.
It took me a few quarters.
But the Mammoths joined the Jumbos and other very odd mascots in the NESCAC. And I know our good friend Gordon Mann is probably tuning in. His chickens, the Bantams of Trinity, are part of that group. Shot is good. It is 62-43.
You got to drop the H to become the Sickens.
Now you're going too far. Fox with the jumper, and it's 64-43. And this game is at that point where it's going to go one of two ways. It's a 20-point somewhat game for lead for Amherst here against this Westfield State team who's ready to bring in its next unit. Shot as falls from Ashley Lane. First time we've had a chance to mention her. 2.7 points a game on average. She gets that one to hit. 6:15 remaining in the corner. McNamara is ill-advisedly fouled by Lane, and that will remove Lane and her unit from the game.
Field goal percentage
starters return.
Starting to come up a little bit for Westfield, at least back up to 34% right now. But
that's what's going to kick them. The shooting percentage for them is where they're going to kick themselves. How many points they have left on the floor because they've missed some shots.
But Amherst right now, they're just converting everything. We're basically midway through the third quarter, still shooting a tad under 60%. 29 out of 49.
Duvall, rebound, miss. And Duvall's going to pick up the foul. Duvall doesn't like it. Doesn't matter. She gets called for the foul, and we're going to go the other direction.
So
because with 4 minutes into this quarter, Amherst has already had 5 fouls, which puts Westfield State on the line for the bonus.
Something should be noted, though, although she's got 3 fouls. Fox already basically has half of Amherst's offensive production, 30 of their 64 right now.
Free throw is up and good. 47-64 as Westfield State is lurking. Gonna get the turnover. Nope, gonna be a jump ball, which will be a turnover going back to Westfield State. Drive. Blocked, but fouled. It was clean on the right hand, not with the left hand. You always got to watch. Well, actually, they got the help defense with the foul, and it's going to be Fox's, I think. Oh, no. Yeah, it was a help defense coming over from.
The block by Sullivan was clean. It was a good play.
Well, I saw the left arm on the body, but they got Zafiro for the help defense. 5:48 remaining. Free throw's good, and Westfield State is trimming into this deficit, down by 15, 64-49.
Hendricks, McNamara, Fox, 3 starters, all with 3 fouls right now for
Zafiro
the Mammoths.
Gets called. I was going to say, Zafiro just got away with maybe a travel. She at least got that called. She has been called for 4 or 5 travels here today. So another turnover and another chance to trim into this deficit for Westfield State, who's starting to hit shots. Good idea, but well read by McNamara. Musette tried to go with the cut from above, and then it's Musette versus Hendricks, and that's just not fair. The 6'1" Hendricks going up against a 5'1" Musette.
She's been very active scoring-wise today, but that was just a beautiful play in transition. Not going to stop that.
Offensive rebound. Barrett for 3, missed that. That was coming out of her hand weird when she let that one go. 66-49, 5 minutes left to go in the quarter. McNamara on a charge. Up it, gives it to Fox, steps to the left, buries it. Beautiful little jumper from Fox, proving why she's an All-American in this contest. Up ahead, Barrett way too far for her to control.
But beautiful little mid-range jump shot. You know, that's something that I don't see a ton of players practicing anymore. Yeah. Everybody's shooting threes. Everybody's
I love that
trying to play the inside game. But that mid-range jumper, if you can get that consistently, I mean, you're seeing right there just how productive you can be.
68-49, the lead for the Mammoths in this one.
Well, they call it the lost art of the mid-range jumper?
Yes, absolutely. So they go to the far side. It's Sullivan with it. Gives it to Duvall, who coughs it up. Kate Sullivan was the original. Kate and Megan, of course, sisters.
Good block there.
Yep, great block. Duvall comes up with it and smartly stops her decision. McNamara, could have shuffled. Nice defense on this attempted steal there from Slaughter. 4:15 remaining. Still a 19-point game here, and this is the point where it's this late third, beginning of fourth is where I was wondering if Westfield State could maybe start to spread their wings a little bit against this Amherst team, but the Mammoths looking pretty comfortable so far. Nice up and under move by Kate Sullivan. And Amherst has hit 70. Nice tip defensively by Fox to keep that one from being a layup opportunity for Aiken. Pelosi in the game for Amherst as Westfield State goes with a line change. 3:57 left to go here in the third.
Now, they've already exceeded here in the third quarter their scoring totals from both games last year out here in Vegas. They scored 64 against Santa Cruz last year, and then
in a game they had to come back against.
And then the Trine game, oh my God!
Oh, that was
defensive battle.
We knew that was going to be a quicksand game.
41-36 was the final.
Foul called on Barrett. No, travel called on Fox. Fox not arguing it. Knows full well she must have shuffled her feet. Yeah, we knew that game against Trine was going to be a all defense, plenty of defense, nothing but defense, no so help you defense kind of game. 3:30 driving in, blocked by Hendricks. Barrett with it, looking for an option for offense here. Shot clock down to 13. Musette with it, gets it back to Barrett. 10 on the shot clock. Will drive in. Off glass, no good. I'm really going to be interested in what Westfield State does tomorrow against Buena Vista. And if the Buena Vista team's watching from their hotel rooms, welcome in. Kate Sullivan with the basket at 72-49 as Amherst is starting to extend the lead. Barrett gets absolutely mauled by Duvall.
Good
Barrett
foul,
will go to the line. Oh, no, that's the kind of foul you want to commit there on an open layup. If you're going to earn those points easy, you're going to earn them at the free throw line. Again, this broadcast available in the hotel room suites throughout the casino here at South Point Arena. Thanks for joining us. I'm Dave McHugh alongside Ira Thor. We're also live streaming this on D3Hoops.com, part of our YouTube channel. And we thank you for tuning in via that avenue as well as Westfield State rolls in a new set of a line. 2:56 left. Westfield State's in the blue uniforms. Amherst in the white. Amherst, the 7th-ranked team after their lone loss of the season to Eastern Connecticut, ending a 68-game winning streak. They are the back-to-back national champs in Division III, 33-0 on back-to-back seasons on way to those championships. The first one coming in Indianapolis. No, sorry, coming after the Indianapolis run where Thomas More won the title. feed. Well, ball handled there as Hendricks hits the basket. 74-49. Hannah Fox, 32 points and counting in this contest. That one just rolls over. Has the most points.
New record.
Whoops.
In the D3 Classic. It's a tournament record.
Wow. That came up very quietly, Dave. Just in 3 quarters alone, Hannah Fox with a single game record.
Yeah, Hannah Fox is quietly
she's
34.
I'm just going to go for 40. Why not?
Well, and this is the perfect game to do it. Got to double check the Amherst record books, figure out what her the Amherst record might be for scoring.
I'll do a little research here. I'm trying to figure out the last time they scored 100 in a game. The last time they scored.
They don't need to.
Well, but they very well might. The last time they scored 90.
Maybe.
90 in a game. I mean, let's start with that milestone.
Yeah, that's true.
Was nearly 2 years to the day on December 29th,
3-pointer for Westfield State.
Out in Orange, California, they beat
that.
Oneonta State 97-31. That's the last time they even scored 90 in a game.
Blocking foul called. Westfield State will do the sub here with 97 seconds left to go in the third. Westfield State's only committed 2 fouls in this quarter. Amherst is well past 5.
But you're right, they haven't needed to because the defense they play, most games they don't have to run like they are here.
That's going to be a traveling violation on Resch, the San Francisco native, who had started every single game this season, but did not start today. She and Duval did not start today, despite starting every game this season. Cam Hendricks had started 4 games, and Megan Sullivan had started 3 in the only 3 games she had played. Sullivan has now started 4 for. Up ahead to Fox, looking to close in on 40. She probably has no clue she has 40 points. She's also taken more shots than she's probably ever. And that is great ball movement. Sullivan seeing Resch inside. 78-56, and I'm starting to think, well, it depends on what GP Gromacki wants to do, but that 100 may be more realistic. And now I'm feeling that maybe Westfield State's not going to have the shooting ability to get back into this one. Forcing the issue that time was Halgus, and it's going to be a foul sending her to the line. She is 5 of 13 on the season.
So, the last time Amherst scored 100 in a game was here at the D3 Hoops Classic in December
WPI
2011. That is correct.
They went on a 52-2 run. I'm not exaggerating. It was like a 50-2 run. And Gordon Mann and I were on that game.
December 29th, 2011, 109-39 was the result. Good memory there, Mr. McHugh.
Yeah, that's a game GP couldn't even get his team to cool off. He even put the subs in, and they started hitting every shot imaginable. It was a redonkulous game. Fox gets it to rattle out. Yeah, they won it. I mean, Gordon and I started doing the math, realized they were on a 50-2 run, and there was just nothing WPI could do. I believe it was also the last time WPI and Amherst have played each other. Except, well, they might have faced each other in the NCAA tournament. Out of bounds belong to Amherst. Next line change here with 25.6 seconds left. Yeah, that game was just that game was insane. There's just no way of describing that. There was at one point they had one of their players about to hit 1,000 points. GP told her in the timeout, you got one shot. Make or miss. I don't care. I'm pulling you. She made it. He pulled her. Fox with 2 more points.
That was Lamb McCormick who did it that day.
Yep, McCormick.
I'm looking at the box score for that game.
Right from where GP Gromacki's standing right now.
Well,
inbounds. Westfield State gets 2 back.
That day, to finish the point, they finished the first half on a 35-5 run. Then they started the second half on a 19-0 run.
That's
52 points.
There you go, sir.
Good memory.
You're welcome.
Memory, young man.
End of the third quarter. Amherst gets the basket at the buzzer. It's 82-60. We'll take another break. We'll see what this fourth quarter brings, but it looks like Amherst in control of the 7th-ranked team against the Owls. Back with more. You're watching the D3Hoops.com Classic from Las Vegas and the South Point Arena. Back in a bit.
The love of the game. But for those of us who are Division III student athletes, it's more than that. A lot more.
Sure, the game is important. But as we work so hard to build both mind and body, it's more about team.
That is why NCAA Division III teamed up with Special Olympics. And in giving the gift of sport to those for whom it seemed an impossible dream, we are working to make this a better world.
Help us keep that dream alive.
You can make a difference.
Division III allows you to give yourself to other things.
having that free time allows me to pursue the things that I want to pursue.
Division III athletics affords students the opportunity to, engage in the other interests in their campus and in their lives outside of that sport.
It allows you to just be able to do everything you want to do. I wouldn't change it for the world.
Welcome back as we get ready to start the fourth quarter. It is 82-60. Amherst the lead on Westfield State. I'm not exactly surprised that Amherst is winning this game. I'm just a little surprised Westfield State hasn't maybe forced the issue a little bit more as we get ready and are underway. Amherst with possession. As we start this fourth quarter, final 10 minutes, questions become, can Amherst get to 100? What can Westfield State maybe come back? And a 3-second violation called on Eck, who was camped out in the lane. Little rookie over here. 9:40 remaining.
Are you making fun of my use of a Mac here?
No, I'm making fun of them coming over the microphone. And the basket will count on the attempt there by Halgus. She'll go to the line with a chance at an old-fashioned three-point play to try and make this a 19-point game. Amherst was 15 of 20 in that third quarter. Jeez. 75% in the third quarter. They are shooting 62% for this game. Missed the shot. Whereas Westfield State was 5 of 17, and Amherst does not miss on the other end. It's 84-62. So Amherst is taking full advantage of what Westfield State is giving them, both defensively schemed-wise because of the system and because of the height advantage that Amherst has. And they are shooting the living lights out of this game. And getting rebounds like that from Pelosi on the missed shot by Gray. And we come the other direction, and that is going to be a foul on Gray, who immediately comes over to check on McNamara, as McNamara landed awkwardly on her knees. And we'll get the first line change of the quarter. 84-62. First foul of the quarter. Don't forget, coming up, third and final women's game of the day. I know it's Ohio Northern. I am blanking on who our opponent is. Should have it memorized, but I just don't.
Willamette.
Willamette, thank you. Foul called on Amherst. We'll turn the ball over to Westfield State.
Doing a little research, trying to figure out what the program record is for points in a game. Fox, at the end of 3 quarters, 38 points, 10 rebounds, 8 of them defensively. She is 17 of 23 from the field.
Ridiculous. Blocked by Resch.
Trying to figure out what the Amherst program record is. She clearly is blowing away the D3 Hoops Classic record. I reached out to Craig Kaufman, Amherst's fine sports information director.
Warning you now, Craig, you've gotten an email.
Yes, well, I copied you guys too.
Ooh, drag the pivot foot, didn't see it.
Sometimes you can find the answers yourself. Sometimes you ask for help.
Up ahead, Kate Sullivan feeds it to Madeline Eck. That's 2 more points as Amherst has got 86. Looking to get over 100 for the first time since they were out here in a long time ago. The difference was
2011.
Westfield State's going to double the output most likely for their opponent in that contest. It will stay Owls' possession.
Well, Eck is quietly having a great game herself. She's got 18 right now.
Yeah. Eck struggled early in this game to hit shots from close, and she has found her range. 86-62. Melissa Camara from Quincy, Mass. has the ball. Nearly stolen on the pass by Pelosi. Traveling violation on the drive by Slaughter. And the next line change comes in. 8:01 remaining in an 86-62 ball game. And tied up. Well done there by Halgus to stay in the play. And we'll be back to Westfield State on the turnover. Uset brings it across the timeline. Into the corner, three on the way, no good for Gray.
When we talked about the shooting percentages, Amherst has slowly crept it up, so they're shooting 63% right now, 40 of 64.
Traveling violation on the turnover.
As we're getting close to the midpoint of the fourth quarter.
Gray is 0 for 4 on the season, by the way, from deep. Yeah, I mean, that's at 15 of 20 in the third quarter shooting.
And they've done this despite being forced down to 19 turnovers. They only had 3 in the first half, in the first quarter, I should say.
Sorry, Gray is 0 for 9 on the season for three-pointers. She's 0 for 5 in this contest.
Amherst has scored 68 of its 86 points thus far in the paint.
So foul called on Megan Sullivan, the sister of Kate Sullivan, for holding on to Musette as Musette was cut in the lane. GP Gromacki goes to take a cup of water after that play.
Barrett with the ball. She has 20 points thus far, but on far more shots. 6 of 15 from the field thus far.
It's the kind of game that's going to ruin Amherst's defensive points allowed statistic. As
all you got to do is go out and hold somebody to 20 points and you're back even.
Fox gets hit hard. We'll go to the line with a chance at 40 points. Foul called on Durkee. Durkee is the team's leader in steals, blocks, three-point shooting, and free throw shooting entering today's game from Georgetown, Mass. And, of course, Fox, the All-American, leads the team in scoring, steals, and all shooting categories. Hits the first one, has 39. She's a 49.5% field goal shooter. She's 44% from beyond the arc and 91% from the charity stripe.
This is for 40.
Missed it. It's because we brought attention to the mark. I was about to say something like 40 love as well.
Oh.
We're cross-promoting our
Andre Agassi lives out here.
We and Steffi Grau, with his wife Steffi Grau. Don't forget Steffi Grau.
Oh, he was here first.
Argument. Westfield State calls a 30-second timeout. They have 3 timeouts remaining. Remember, they called one in the first quarter just for a substitution. 87-62 as we get a memo. Classic Records watch list as we continue on this theme this season of this year's event of records for the D3Hoops.com Classic. Field goal percentage, Amherst is closing in. And against WPI, they had a 56.9%. At the break of the quarters here at 62%. They were 41 of 72. There's 38 of 61. So that record could fall today.
I think that one's in serious peril.
And the assist record is Simpson versus, well, that's not possible. Simpson didn't play themselves. Eureka had 29 assists on 41 made shots. Amherst so far has 24 assists at the end of the quarter. So they're closing in on that record as well out of the timeout.
One record I don't think will ever fall as many years as we come back here. What we saw last year from Ohio Wesleyan.
Oh, no, sir. You weren't here yesterday. Because we had one of those records fall.
Was it the 25 three-pointers?
Not the 25, but the individual one.
Yeah?
Yeah. Yeah. So a few records from last year's game actually were.
The 25 threes, I could be doing this for 15 years. I never expect to see that ever get broken.
Stepped out of bounds by Lane. They had a number last night, didn't they, Pat? They had a bunch of three-pointers last night as a team, didn't they? Yeah.
But did they have 25?
Yeah. It was an interesting game. We immediately made reference to that game last year.
That was the most impressive shooting performance I've ever seen in Division III.
Nice feed.
From a non-system team, of course, that's not firing up three-pointers every second. They were taking good shots at that.
Terrific feed there from Ekta Zafiro.
Beat a Ramapo team that ended up going to the Final Four.
Yeah, well, that was a Ramapo team that did. Well, we talked about Ramapo did not look good at that point. Turned it around for the rest of the season. Ohio Wesleyan looked phenomenal. And it's the first team I've ever seen not turn that into something for the rest of the season.
It's funny because after their performance in this Classic, I had them probably like in the 18 range in the poll.
I had them.
Well, I didn't at the time, and I kind of reviewed everything that I did.
Fox has gone over the 40 mark.
Oh, there's your 40 for the Fox.
41 for Fox, 91-62 the lead now. Oh,
only 16.
Why
Light
ruin a
day
good
in the
story?
office. Yeah, but after that Ohio Wesleyan performance, first against Ramapo and then a really good game against Whitman, which is one of the better games I've ever seen in Division III, I blew up my whole poll and started over, and I moved them into the top 5.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, as you got towards the turn of the year, they went the opposite direction.
Well, they came home thinking they were all that in a bag of chips, and turns out their conference reminded them of reality. And the funny thing is, Battling Bishops nearly battled their way into the NCAA tournament with a run in February, but the damage from January has already been done. But yeah, I mean, Ramapo ended up all the way into the Final Four, one of the more tremendous games that we've seen here. Amherst has had some incredible individual team performances, not game performances. Nice feed inside of Duvall. 2 more points. That 100 is going to be broken. 93-62. We got 5 minutes remaining.
And, last year that was what I thought Ramapo could be when they got to the Final Four. When I told you in the preseason, and I thought that they were that kind of. I didn't think they were a Final Four team. I thought they were.
Fox with 2 more points.
I thought Ramapo was a deep NCAA tournament team last year, but middle of the season,
they finally woke up.
You looked like they weren't even going to make the postseason.
Amherst I'm impressed here with what they've done against this Westfield State. First off, I think they forced Westfield State out of what they normally do. Barrett for 3, does not fall. And they have stayed, despite the fact they don't have traditionally as many subs. They have definitely gone deep in the bench. To Duvall from Fox missed. They have stayed within their legs and allowed Westfield State to get back into it with the better conditioning. And I'm really impressed with Amherst here. As as Duvall gets fouled, we'll go to the line here to shoot free throws.
4 minutes left. Amherst still shooting over 64%, so that they're going to break their own record here.
Duvall, 6 of 7 from the free throw line.
They're going to blow it out.
Yeah, they're going to
57%. They're at 64 right now.
Duvall's free throw is good. 96-62. It is definitely a blowout now. 34-point game as Pelosi returns and gives Fox a spell. I wonder if Fox is done for the game. 4:10 remaining. You may not be able to with the tempo that Westfield State plays.
Well, what a day for her. If her day is done, 43 points on 19 of 25.
Wow.
Simply remarkable.
Amherst could go 0 for its last 8 and still set that record.
That's some quick math by you, sir.
Deep 3, Barrett. No good.
Did you do that in your head or did you calculate that?
He probably did it in his head. And Barrett is fouled.
I would
so
most certainly have to pull out the phone.
To shoot. How many assists does Amherst have in this contest?
That ties
the record. Tied the record they had against Simpson had against Eureka.
They have
29
29
that game coming
assists.
for Simpson back in 2011, just as the Amherst shooting record was back in 2011.
29 assists on 44 makes.
96-62. One more free throw coming with 3:44 remaining.
They've only made 1 3-pointer all game. 1 out of 5.
Yeah, they haven't. Well, Westfield State's defensively going to let you have the inside shot. They don't want you to take the outside shot.
And they fed right into that, and they've capitalized inside. Meanwhile, Westfield 5 of 25 from deep.
I got confused with the free throws there. They allowed subs in before the 2 free throws, but nonetheless. 96-64. Looking for 100 and some free tacos.
Do we all get free tacos?
I thought that was a thing, and maybe it's not. I don't know. Did we get sponsored right for this? 3-pointer is good. Westfield State still battling it out here as a 3 made by McCarthy. And they might be down by 31, but they're not giving up. They're playing the 7th-ranked team in the country, granted, as that ball is deflected out of bounds, remain Mammoth's possession. Can't tell you how many times I want to say the alternate mascot, even though it's been years later. Actually, did they come to this event when they didn't have the mascot one year?
I don't think so.
I had to deal with them at some point when they didn't have the mascot. That was confusing. As a broadcaster, you always want to have alternative names to call someone. Nice up and under play there by Camara. And that year, they didn't have any alternate options. The artist former known. Could have used that, I guess.
I'm pretty sure I did. Some playoff game somewhere.
Missed the jumper with 2:50 left.
And they score one more time in the final 3 minutes.
Yes, sir.
I mean, you were doubting whether they were going to score 100 early on.
I was, but then they hit the gas at the end of the third quarter, and it changed the complexion. Yeah, I mean, they changed the complexion. There's 100 on Pelosi's make. 100. Our scoreboard does go to 100 to 67. I've never had the opportunity to see if it works. Right, I wasn't using this system at the time.
Does it go to 200?
And that's a new scoreboard here that they've tested out at South Point as well. Rebound by Amherst. Pelosi up ahead. Free tacos for everybody for wherever you want to try and convince that for somebody. It's not a sponsored or an official thing. Just something I made up. And a missed shot there. Stay Amherst possession.
There's a lady in the seats behind us watching and listening on her iPad.
If she goes running for tacos, I'm following her.
I mean, gonna bring some to the crew.
I'm curious. 100 to 69 is our score at the 2-minute warning.
So Amherst has scored 100 for the first time in 7 years.
Yep.
Westfield scored 105 times this year alone.
Yes. Welcome to the system. Though it's not really on display today. 2 points there.
I think
Barrett.
we'll have, like you mentioned earlier, we'll have a very different type of game tomorrow against
Buena Vista? Yeah, it's going to be Buena Vista, sir.
I've been saying it that way for 20 years.
90 seconds left. Oh, stolen. Kate Sullivan says, no, thank you. That is my basketball. And then it's taken right back.
Is it still not Bowden?
Sir, don't anger the Mainers. Deep three from Musat. Nothing but net. This feels more like the Westfield State team that I expected, and it's because Amherst has decided they don't need to play defense.
74 is their season low.
Wow. Oh, I'm somehow at 72, and now we'll fix that to 74. Less than a minute to play in what is going to be a not surprising Mammoth win. I did think Westfield State could make it interesting, but they couldn't make it that interesting. Westfield State led for a hot moment early by 5 halfway through the first quarter. But then Amherst got into groove, and they have put up 100 here.
Well, I mean, look at this right here. Westfield might be the closest of any opponent in Amherst win this year.
No. Not by the end of the season, they won't be.
Well, I'm saying as of this point.
As of right now.
Right now.
Because I was like, they got Bowdoin and Tufts still on their schedule.
Right now, the closest margin in a win this year actually is my game. Is they beat us 78-52, so 26 points.
Foul called, as that will send McCarthy to the line here to shoot.
What are you saying, Pat?
When you've lost a game, it doesn't really matter what your closest win is.
I'm just saying. I mean, if you're looking at a silver lining
That's
right
a
here.
fair point, by the way. There's a silver lining.
Yeah.
The Owls go to the line here to try and get over the 75 mark.
Amherst beat us 78-52. We'll see if Westfield can get within 25.
Well, they are within 25. One more coming here for McCarthy. Keeping an eye on the shooting percentage. I believe that one's in the bag.
Well, against our team, we had Mirage Bacon scored 29, but really had nobody else who could put up those kind of numbers.
Nice passing by Amherst.
Oh, my gosh.
Wow, all 5 players touched the ball.
That's like something you practice.
That's
on
a drill.
Specific drill, exactly.
Yeah, that's oh, that one blocked on the 3-point attempt. Blocked by Resch. Averages a block a game. Nice steal attempt. Didn't get it. Nice feed again. And Amherst got 104 points.
Just
and
sensational.
That closest game is evaporated.
Everybody's touching the ball.
Yeah.
In the last 30 seconds of the game, everyone is still touching the ball.
It's about execution. That is what GP Gromacki preaches. As he's not going to like that defensive effort, despite the fact they're leading 104-78. He sits down a little bit disheveled. In the doppelganger game, does not GP Gromacki look a little like Andy Cohen? It just hit me. It just hit me. That's what happens in a 179 game.
I'm trying to figure out when the last time Amherst has allowed 79 points in the game.
Oh, well, you might not go as far back to find that. I think they've had a couple high-scoring games. And that's going to draw this one to a close. Your final score, Amherst 104, Westfield State 79 as the Mammoths will improve to 7-1 on the season. They are now 1-0 in neutral site games, and they got a game tomorrow. Whoops. Who are they playing tomorrow? As I draw a blank.
Playing Wisconsin Stevens Point tomorrow.
Stevens Point, that's right. Shirley Egner's squad scouting this are rolling their eyes because it's 104 points that Amherst just put on the scoreboard. Westfield State will take on Buena Vista tomorrow as they are now 4-6 on the season, 1-1 in neutral site games. We'll get your final stats in a moment and go through those and some of the records that were broken and get you ready for our next contest coming up in women's basketball action. But in the meantime, our final stats.
We knew the field goal percentage record was going down,
Dave.
Yeah. As soon as Pat kind of brought that to our attention and we saw that the previous number was 56.9%, it was going to take a really poor fourth quarter for that not to happen. And Amherst was just as consistent in the final quarter as they had been the whole game. 48 out of 77, absolutely destroying that record that they held on their own.
The record was 56.9.
Beat
they
that
have
by
62.3.
0.5 right there. So 62.3%, your new record. They finished with 31 assists, breaking the record by Eureka against
Simpson against
Eureka.
29.
On the same day, by the way, which is the last day that Amherst scored 100.
We tend to play this tournament on the same timing.
Yeah, but it was the same day, same year.
Same day, same year, exactly. Yeah.
41 field goals in that contest, and Amherst makes in this one 48.
48, so that's a new record as well. But 43 points for Hannah Fox. 103 points would be pretty impressive as well. But 43 points, destroying the previous program tournament record, which was 31 by Elizabeth Pruitt for Puget Sound back in 2016. So 3 big-time records, 4 if you count the total number of field goals, all falling here on a day where Amherst shows that regardless of the look you throw at them, Coach Gromacki's squad will find ways to adjust, and they have done so, and that's why they rarely ever lose.
Yeah, so Fox with her 43, 18 points for Eck and 10 for Hendricks. For the Owls, they were led by Barrett, no surprise, 24 points. Then 9 each for Camara and Hester as they shot 31.4%, 23% from beyond the arc and 71% from free throws. Amherst was 43% from the free throw line at 7 of 16, and they were 20% from beyond the arc. They were only 1 for 5. 7 assists for Hendricks ties the record as we are, and this D3Hoops.com Classic in 2 days is already rewriting the record books that Pat technically only wrote just a few weeks ago himself. That was a joke. I know. We've been keeping track for a while. Amherst scored 30 points in the first quarter, 22 points in the second. Hear me out. They scored 30 in the third and 22nd in the fourth. 30-22, 30-22 is how Amherst distributed their point scoring.
Well, I know what numbers I'll be playing at the roulette table later.
There we go, 30 and 22. We're going to take a break. When we come back on another stream, we will have our next game. It's Willamette Bearcats taking on the Polar Bears of Ohio Northern. You've been listening to the D3Hoops.com Classic from the South Point Arena in Las Vegas. For Ira Thor and Pat Coleman, I'm Dave McHugh. Who knows who's doing the next game? Well, I'm pretty sure Ira's on it. Back with more on the next stream when we come back. Thanks for tuning in, everybody.